with this call. Okay, so welcome to lesson 2. But before that, okay, let me just go over still lesson 2 actually. Okay. So last time we introduced the variables, right? Wherein if a computer deal with data, so we need to store them and organize them. Okay, so variables is a container for data. So we usually use English words to name it, and we can combine numbers, but numbers should be always at the last, not at the beginning, and we use the equal sign. So here, for example, we have data, the names, age, the dates, okay, right? So yeah, just a quick review about variables. So you can either use last name or L name or last underscore name since we're not allowed to use spaces. Okay. Right. And different data types. We have integer, float, string, and a boolean, the basic data types. Okay. So another work of computer is to do calculations, just like the math. So today we're gonna learn different operators. So when we mean operators, so aside from the numbers and the letters on your keyboard are the symbols. So actually computer was made purposely in the beginning to compute large numbers since a calculator cannot do it all, like the simple calculator. So if we're dealing with large numbers, so bigger capacity should be used. Okay, so let's start first with arithmetic operations. So we know it's about dealing with numbers. Okay, so in math, we have this one, right? Okay, addition, multiplication, division. And in Python, okay, so we represent addition as the same thing, subtraction. But in multiplication, if we use the x, then that would be letter x, right? So in Python, we use asterisk. And for division, since we don't have this one in the keyboard as well, we use forward slash. Okay, so these are the different math operators in Python. Okay. So actually, computer before can only do addition, and if they do subtraction, they use complements and add, and multiplication is just repetitive addition, while division is use of complements and keep adding those complements. Okay, so what are operators in Python? Okay, so they are the use of symbols. So actually, we already use them. So we have the commonly used symbols, we have the parentheses. So we usually use parentheses to group numbers, operations, or also used frequently in built-in functions such as the print and the input function, right? Okay. So we have quotations. So where do we use quotations? So we use it for string data types. So in the beginning, we say print hello world, so or print any text that we want. And we have here hashtag or number sign. So what is the hashtag or number sign? Okay, so these are used for comments. And when we mean comment, it's only for us. The computer will not read it. So the use of number sign symbol is to allow Python to not translate it or to not execute that code. Okay, so let's try, okay, to show it. Okay, let me open Visual Studio Code and yep, and open the programming class. Okay, let me share. Okay, so we can create another. Yeah, you just open the same folder that you just created in the if you want to make another file, so you click on new file and lesson2.py. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to copy, let's say print hello world. Okay. So okay, when I run this, so it will show 4 hello worlds, right? But let's say we don't want to run the first one. So we put hashtag in the beginning. So how many hello worlds do we expect now? There'll be only 3, right? Since we put hashtag, it means the computer will not run it, or the computer will just ignore it. It will skip. But yeah. And also another use of comments is that, okay, we can comment maybe as you write programs later, you will forget, you just, what is this about? So, actually I already used it, right? Okay, so in here, I put the comment that this is about basic data types. This is about variables and data and input function, print function. So also, let's say there's some parts of your code that is not working. So you can try to comment it first, or there's actually a shortcut. Because what if you want everything to comment? Okay, so the shortcut for comment is that, okay, you place the cursor on the line that you want to comment and try Control plus /. Okay, can you try it? So let's say I put in line 3, 4, and I choose 2, and I just Control /. And how do we uncomment it again? So to uncomment it, we just do it again. So it will be uncommented. Okay, have you tried it? Does it work? So our shortcut is Control plus /. Okay, so that is comments. So you can use also comments to comment what is this code about. Okay, so we also have a frequently used operator, equal sign. So equal sign are used to assign values to the variable. So we already did that. Equality and assignment. Okay. So what usually happen is on your right hand is always the expression, the data, and on the left hand is always variables. So left is always variables. We cannot do, let's say 8 equals num. So it's not allowed. Okay. Okay, so one example, okay. Say I have answer here and I have operations. So let's say I want to calculate this, so I just write it in and the answer will be stored in the answer. Okay, so just like in math, how computers calculate it follows the rule. So if there is parenthesis, so it will do parenthesis first, multiplication, division, subtraction. Yeah, so the same with math. Okay, I think we can skip that. Okay, or we can make use of arithmetic expressions, but we need to make sure that these variables are already declared. So let's play with arithmetic operators. Okay, so right, let's say we want to show the sum and the difference. Okay, so first, okay, you can make it's still in lesson 2. Say I have numbers 1 and it's 100. I have number 2 and I have 200. So how do I get the sum? That we can get 300. So we can assign it to a variable called sum and say num1. What is the operator for plus? So num1 plus num2. That, okay, I print sum. So in here, I will get, okay, 300. Or say 2000. How about difference? How do we get difference? So difference will be num1 and we minus num2. And so we have difference in, so difference between 100 and 2000 is negative 1900. Okay, can you try on how to get the product in the quotient? So remember the operators for multiply. So this time, try to do product and quotient. And when you print the product, so if your number 1 and number 2 is both 100, so the answer should be 10,000. And if you divide it, then it's 1. Okay. Now, how do we do it? Okay. So we can add another one, product be num1 times num2. While for quotient, okay, will be num1 divided by num2. Okay, so we show the result, so product, quotient, and that, yeah, it will show up. Okay. So 100, yep, or okay, I can change it. But if you do this, okay, then we already said that the numbers are 100 or 200K. What if the numbers are different? Okay, so remember the function input, right? Okay, so input allows you to ask for data. But when we use input function, the default data type is a string. But if we deal with numbers, okay, we need to make it integer. So we need to cast it by putting int in the beginning of the function. Okay. So here, for example, okay, let's say I need to add the number 1. So I do input, okay, give me, or what is number 1? And instead of 200, I will also add, so number 2. Okay. So I run it, okay, number 1, let's say 5. Oh, I cannot edit here, so I will run it in my terminal. In Python 3, lesson 2.py. Okay, number 1 is 4 and number 2 is 6. Oh, so it says here unsupported operand type because as we know that input will give you a string. It's a string data type. So we need to make sure that this input here, we cast it to be integer. Then make it integer. So I run it again. Okay, number 1 is 4 and 6. Okay, so right now, yeah, we generate the numbers. Okay. So that's or maybe okay, answer is 7 times 8 plus num1 plus num2. So you can combine, okay, plus then multiply by 3. Okay. So if you have like a very specific formula, you can also write it just like the formula. Okay. But you just make sure the different symbols for each operation. Any questions so far? Were you able to try the operators? And as for number, and yeah, it's all good. So actually, we still have more operations. So later, I'll introduce relational operators. So, okay. So actually, this is the complete. So which one do you think here you're not familiar with? So we already introduced the first four. Okay. Which one here? We have floor division, remainder, exponent, unary plus, unary minus. Okay, so actually this 3 is related. Okay, so division will give you the real quotient. Okay, so for example, 10 divided by 2. So this will give you 5.0. That means that the quotient is 5, remainder is 0. While floor division, 10 divided by 2 only cares about the quotient. And if we say 10 divided by 2, then it will give us 0. Okay, so it's like if we divide 2 here, the floor division only cares the first one, the real quotient. And yeah, this is the remainder, right? And unary plus is usually if it's a positive number, we don't really put a plus, but if you want to specify that, yeah, this is positive, and the unary minus is negative. Okay. So in here, for example, okay, I say my number 1 will be -4, and my number 2 is 5. So yeah, this is the unary minus. And for unary plus, let's say but actually it won't make a difference that much because it's already positive. But you can still to really specify that is a positive number. Yeah. But should be, oh yeah, because I put the answer first. So sum is 13. Right? And okay. So we move on to the next operators. I'll just introduce it as well today, but we're gonna use much of it on the next lesson. So we have here. Oh, it's not this one. Sorry. Yeah. Right. So we have 2 equal signs. So 1 equal sign is different with 2 equal sign. And just like in math, you have less than, greater than, equal to will be 2 equal sign. not equal to, less than equal, greater than equal, and in the future, we're going to introduce what is not, but is and is not are like the equal, and not equal to is also like that. And also in the future, we're going to learn how we use in and not in. Okay. Okay. So to practice more on the arithmetic operators, okay, you can try. So this is how we write in math. You can try to write how you write it in Python. And also, okay, I have here some activities that you can also practice. And if you have time, you can do it. And once you finish, you can submit it to me. I'll make another form where you can submit it. So yeah, here are the problems. Try to implement it. And okay, here I have sample input output. So let's say, for example, we write a program that will calculate average of 5 integers. So you need to give 5 numbers and you output the average. So these are the inputs, so this should be the average. But I think for some, it may be incorrect. So you can just if you're sure that you already implemented correctly, but I think most of them are actually correct. Maybe just some parts of it. So here the purpose is to practice more on writing simple programs, and that, okay? When you write it, so for example, you have exercise 1.py, you can make use of maybe, yeah, I think you will really use here the comments. So let's say problem 1. And if you're trying to run another problem, so you just comment it and run it. Yeah. Okay. Any questions? So on the next, we'll continue more on here relational, and we have other operators as well, and how do we use them. Okay. And though maybe the symbols may be used, but if we're dealing with binary numbers, I mean binary values. Okay. Right. Okay, I just give it a try from this to Python, and then solve or practice writing simple programs. Okay, any questions? Were you able to try all the programming activities, exercise? You experience when you run programs, there are errors. Okay, can you show me? Again, share your screen. Or do you use the same computer or different? Let's see. Oh, okay. Python was not found. Oh, you're using. How about you use try to use Pi? Mhm. You try to use Pi, and the name of the what do you call this? The name of your file, py, just py. But if still not working, okay. You can okay, you can send me maybe the whole thing, or if it's still experience, you can try first to run programs, and you can go to onlinegdb.com. Okay, you can also practice here. Okay, and then try. Okay, just change it to Python 3, and yeah, you write your codes here and run it, because I think yeah, okay, yeah. And you can also try to install Python to your uh, download Python in your computer. So you just follow if Windows, but if not, you can do first in online GDB. Yeah, sorry. Right. So yeah, try first in online GDB. You can practice and just change the language to Python. And also try to download as well, install Python in your computer. Okay. Okay, so I think that's it for today, and we'll continue on the next week. Okay, right. Thank you, Joe, for attending, and I'll send the materials later. And you can also send me, yeah, but I think you can try to install first Python, okay, or use first online GD. Okay, all right. See you next time. Thank you. Goodbye.